We're going to ask you, a question, and we're going to give you 4 minutes to answer it. You will get when you have 30 seconds left, you will hear a little noise. and so you'll have 4 minutes to answer the question. Donna Marie's going to go first, then Mike, and then Donna Marie, you're going to get another minute, and then Mike finishes up with a minute. So the question is, the residents of Woodhaven are looking to elect our new assemblyman. Why should that?
All the same one.
I'm sorry. My apologies. They're looking. So the question is, why should the residents of Woodhaven cast their vote for you?
I go first.
You're on the clock.
Okay, why should you vote for me? I can give you a lot of different reasons why you should vote for me. You've all known me. I've been in this community for 22 years. Some of you know me from the 30 years that I've been involved in the community. And how many minutes do I have?
You get 4.
Okay, I just have a couple of seconds. In those 30 years, I've been involved in the schools. I've been involved in my community on the planning board. I've done some things in Woodhaven that all of you probably drive down the streets every day. And the way you drive down those streets every day, those one-way streets, were because of a committee that I was chair of. And we made those streets one-ways. We put a survey into the DOT and we said, you need to make these streets safer, and they listened to us. They did exactly the way we wanted. And the reason they did it exactly the way we wanted was that we reached out to the community. We included the community in that process. We sent out letters to all the people in the community. The Block Association sent out the letters to all the community, and we asked them what they wanted. And we were in the community, and we knew that the decision that was made was going to affect us, too, because we would be riding down those streets. It wasn't that these decisions would be made and it wouldn't affect us, it all affected us. So the reason you would elect me is because you know me, you know that I've done things, and you know what you're getting. It's not something new, it's not something different, it's not something strange. You know that I'm a hardworking individual, I have 5 children, I'm not leaving, I own a home. When I moved there, I said I'm never moving again, so I'm going to be there for a long time. I'm going to be around. I pay taxes. I know how you all feel, and I feel the same pain you do. I call up the police like you do, and I call up 311 like you do. Same thing. It's around 88th Street. I live on 87th Street. So if that thing is way over there on 86th Avenue, when I'm hearing it on 87th Street off of Jamaica Avenue, that's pretty loud. What have I done in the time that I've been here? I work in the Senior Citizen Center, and I showed you what these guys can do up in Albany, is that instead of raising our taxes, instead of making it difficult for us to live within your means. Something everybody in this room has to do. Live within your means. You can't tax anybody. If you want to go out and buy that new TV, you can't tax anybody. You have to scrimp and save, cut corners, and then you can buy that TV. And that's what I did at the Senior Center that's here in Woodhaven. We wanted to be open an extra day. There was no money. Who was I going to tax? The seniors? No. What we did was we looked for waste. We got rid of the waste, and we opened that center, which is now open 4 days instead of 3 days on the same amount of money. Common sense. That's what we need up in Albany. We need people up there that have common sense. People that really work hard. Don't take the easy way out. 125 days late was our budget. 125 days late. They worked really hard. What did they do? They raised our cigarettes, they put the tax back on our clothes, they raised our cars, they raised our registration. There's 125 different taxes that they put in. That was the easy way out. The hard way was to make some of the cuts. Look for things to cut. What about those MTA employees? Someone works hard? I think that's great. Some of our MTA employees are getting overtime while they're on vacation. Is that fair? No. $34 million. That $34 million could do something useful. How many of you have to trek up that train station on those steps to get a Metro card? Because you're going to take the bus. Why can't they put Metro card booths at the bottom of underneath the turnstiles, underneath the staircase? Something as common sense as that. Maybe, oh wait, they might break into it at night. Well, roll down the gates during the night. Only have it open at certain times of the day. Something simple, something common sense. We take the subways, we can think of this. Those guys up there can't. What's 7 more minutes?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you got another like 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay. I said this, as I said. Oh, you got 30 seconds. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled with what you see up there. It can be different. It can change. But you have to take the first steps. You have to vote in different people, people that you know and trust for all the years, that are going to do change, and see the change that they did. Then you know that they're going to do change. But then, everybody could say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But when you see the change, then you know that they really did it.
Okay. And now, Mr. Miller.
Thank you very much. First of all, thank you for knowing me and trusting me this past year. When I came here last year, you guys, nobody knew me. I'm from Glendale, not done much in Woodhaven aside from the Action Club, but you gave me the opportunity, you gave me the choice, you had faith in me, and I appreciate all that you've done for me this past year in supporting me. This past year, you know, a number of things happened this past year. I worked hard to reestablish the assembly person in the area. You know, I worked hard to make sure that my office was accessible to everybody in my district, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. People laughed at me, but I proved to them that it means a lot to me, and I take this seriously. I open my office on Saturdays and Sundays, so people who work during the week can come in on a Saturday and Sunday if you have an issue, and people take advantage of it. Phone call to be in contact with me 24 hours a day means a lot to a lot of people. There are a lot of people here who I've helped 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, take care of some of those issues that are happening at that moment, not 3 days later. So I've instituted a lot of things to help you and work on your quality of life. For me, that's important. Maybe not so much for somebody else, but for me it is. Your quality of life is important to me. In addition to that, there were a number of bills that I sponsor or co-sponsored, working hard for you up in Albany. The sex offender bill, which protects our children. It prevents people who are sex offenders from working with your children. You know, there was an issue in Glendale with the karate school. I've addressed it. Put in a bill. It passed the Senate. As soon as we go back in November, it's going to pass the Assembly. It's going to become law to protect our children. A complete streets bill for the people of Woodhaven. What it does is it changes when they do renovations on a major thoroughfare like Woodhaven Boulevard. There are certain things they're going to put in, mandated to put in, that's going to make your life better. All right, countdown clocks is one of them, but the city's putting them in, so we're pretty lucky for that. But it increases the time in crossing the street. It widens the medians. It gives you a better access for handicapped people to be able to go across and not come down and go into a ditch, you know, and fall in, which is what's happening now along Woodhaven Boulevard. Title 20 funding for our seniors here in Woodhaven. It's an important issue. You know, the city wanted to use that Title 20 money for anything that they wanted to do. When in years past, it was always for seniors. We mandated that they use it for our seniors so that our centers are protected. I'm working on opening a center here in this building. Last year when I was running, the seniors wanted a place to come to locally here on Jamaica Avenue, and the ambulance corps needed help. So I put everybody together. So we're going to have a senior center here. The Woodhaven one is coming back. And it's also going to help out the ambulance corps. They're going to get income to be able to maintain and protect the building. We're just waiting for the C of O to come through from the city. Once the commissioner signs off on the C of O, you're going to have a new senior center here. I worked hard to make sure that the Z train, the 56 bus, was restored. They wanted to cut it. People say, you're a hypocrite. You cut the MTA, and I did in the last, in 2009, when we went to the deficit reduction plan, we had a cut. There was a deficit. So yes, we did vote to cut services from different agencies. The MTA was one of them. But when they wanted to cut your service here for the local people, I was the one who led the fight to make sure it didn't happen. I had a press conference in my office with other elected officials, called attention to it, fought every week up in Albany with the MTA representative to make sure that your service here was not interrupted. Sanitation issues on Woodhaven Boulevard. Quality of life issues. Do you want your streets to be dirty? No. For me, that's an important issue. I'm sure it is for you. Other people feel differently. They feel that all of these quality of life issues should, what does that mean?
36.
Feel that it should be your council person that does it. I feel differently. If you have a problem, I want you to come to me, whether it's a problem here locally or what happens up in Albany. Thank you.
All right, so now Donna, you get a minute, and I'll just ding it at the end. You know.
Ding it at the end.
Yeah.
So the minutes are.
Yeah.
like I said, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled at all. The sex offender bill, you know what the fine is on the sex offender bill? If they hire someone who's a sex offender, $100 fine. You know, it's a joke. Yes, you can say you can set up this law, and yes, it's, you know, we're going to get there. It's not good enough now. It's going to get better. $100 fine. Don't be fooled by that. I was the only candidate in this race that's endorsed by the Citizens Union. The Citizens Union is a good government group. They look for individuals that are going to fight for reform up in Albany. They're going to fight for looking at waste in the government. People are going to be out there looking at the people. The Citizens Union is a citizens union. It's not a labor union, it's a citizens union. They endorsed me. He protected the seniors. My senior center is getting a 30% cut. Don't go spreading that around yet. Nobody else knows. 30% cut.
Is that it?
Thank you. All right, Mike?
Not to me. You know, I believe that the business people here are honest and good people. And if there's a law, they're going to follow it. And the penalty that's there is just to compel them to follow a law. I don't think anybody wants to pay $100 when they don't have to. So it's not to ding them and take their money, you know, from the income that they're trying to survive on. It's to make sure that, compel them to follow a law. So it doesn't have to be a large amount of money, as long as something is there. As far as cutting the senior center, I didn't cut the senior center 30%. I fought hard for the seniors in my district. I fought hard to make sure that they got what they needed. And this place, once it opens, probably November 3rd, will be a great asset for the community. And as far as getting endorsed by the Citizens Union, you're a hero of reform, as we both are, but to be a hero of reform and endorsed by the Citizens Union, you're taking two different sides of the coin, so to speak. So for me, that would be a hypocrite. I didn't even go for it. Anyway, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you both. And before we sit down, we have one volunteer from the audience to ask them both a quick question. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Miller, can we call you for the noise?
Anything. I instituted a tracking system for
Excuse me,
noise.
this will just be like a 1 minute thing, okay? Go
I
ahead.
instituted a tracking system for noise complaints. Noise was an issue, okay? It was for the last 4 months of the summer. So I instituted a system where if you called 311 and got a complaint number, you go to my website or call us up with that number, and we're going to track it. And like I said, I've gotten calls, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning about a noise complaint, called the precinct, settled for nothing less than for somebody to go and take care of it. And we've got a number of issues like that taken care of. And so we work hard, I work hard to make sure that I can do things like that for you. So we instituted a tracking system. The forms are in the back to give you some information about how to go on my website and put your tracking number in. Thank you.
Thank you. And Donna Marie, you want to tackle, if elected, how would you tackle a noise issue?
Oh, I have a good answer to the noise issue. We're all looking at it the wrong way. Why can a dog barking be an ECB violation and someone's loud radio not? There's something wrong with this whole picture. Why can't we have sanitation employees who are working 24 hours a day go out there and give a complaint, give a violation to that building? Why are the police? Yes, they're busy. We want our police out there protecting us against pedophiles and burglaries and car robberies. So we want somebody else. Why can't the sanitation? The mechanism is there for them to do that. So we're going around this the wrong way. And that's the problem. We're not looking at things with common sense. Mike Miller was interviewed by the Citizens Union. He tried to get their endorsement. You can go to their website and you'll see their responses to him. So for him to say he didn't try it, this is the second time we've been someplace.
If I may, that was for
The Daily News called him a weasel, and the last conversation he said,
Okay, well,
No.
thank you.
Ms. Donna called me a Wesley.
No, I didn't.
Thank you.
They called me
If
on
I
for
may,
the whistle.
am I allowed to say something or not? Whatever your rules are, it's fine.
Yeah, I think let's end this now on that note.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.